Live na ba? Good afternoon po!
Good afternoon.
Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon 2nd, Payawin Gubat Sorsogon. Today is May 23, 2024. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the contracts 24 FL 00101, construction of two-story school building, 12 classroom, Bulan North A Central School, Bulan Sorsogon. 24 FL 0102, construction of two-story school building, 12 classroom, Gubat North, Gubat Sorsogon. 24 FL 0103, construction of two-story school building, 12 classroom, Gubat South Central School, Gubat Sorsogon. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: Erwin S. Encinares, back Vice Chairman; Dave Banvilla, back member; Levi Pura Jr., back member; Rachel Joy P. Rocha from Planning Section; Glenn L. Emission, Head of Procurement; Nathaniel B. Alegre, back Secretariat; Jose Maria Albert H. Perez, Representative from the Mr. Vice Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron na po tayong quorum and wala po tayong present na contractor dito today.
Okay, good afternoon. Since we have a quorum, this pre-bid conference is now called to order. And the agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows: the basic contract data, the guidelines in the submission of bids, the requirements of bidding documents, eligibility criteria, the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including the technical and financial proposals, the criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. Question and comments from bidders and replies of BACs and other representatives of the procuring entity. The summary of proceedings, including the bid bulletin to be issued, and other matters. To discuss to us the basic contract data is Engineer Rachel Joy Rocha.
Thank you, sir. For the basic contract data, with contract ID 24FL0101, with contract name, construction of two-story school building, 12 classrooms, Bulan North A Central School, Bulan Sorsogon. With contract location, Bulan Sorsogon. Approved budget for the contract is 63,281,999.99 pesos. Brief description: complete construction of a 9.5 meter by 47 meter two-story 12 classrooms school building, mostly built with concrete and masonry with micropiles. PWD ramp with handrails, parapet wall on concrete gutter, and complete with electrical works. Sanitary planning works, ventilation, water pumping, and fire protection system, together with construction of road network or site development, perimeter fence, and drainage system. Source of fund is the FY 2024 GAA, with contract duration of 270 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos only. Submission of bids is scheduled on June 5, 2024 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is the BICWP LCCP. Shown is the sample of the bill of quantities as well as the bid data sheet. For the minimum manpower requirement, for the project manager, minimum years of similar experience is 5 years, project engineer 5 years, materials engineer 3 years, safety health officer 1 year, and general construction foreman 3 years. For the minimum equipment requirement, for the dump truck, we have the required number of units is 1, backhoe 1 unit, truck mounted crane 1 unit, driller rig 1 unit, water truck or water pump 1 unit, welding machine 1 unit, plate compactor 1 unit, concrete vibrator 1 unit, and bagger mixer 1 unit. Bar cutter 1 unit, bar bender 1 unit, and column outfit 1 unit. Shown is the sample naman po para sa ating special conditions of contract. And we have here sa cover page of the plan for the construction of a two-story school building complex from Bulan North A Central School, Bulan Sorsogon. We also have here the site development plan, the perspective, as well as the floor plans and the sections of the plan. Moving on, we have contract ID 24FL0102 with contract name, construction of a two-story school building, 12 classrooms, Gubat North, Gubat Sorsogon. Contract location, Gubat Sorsogon. Approved budget for the contract is 63,282,000 pesos. Brief description: complete construction of a 9.5 meter by 47 meter 2-story 12 classroom school building mostly built with concrete and masonry with micropiles. PWD ramp with handrails, parapet wall and concrete cutter, and complete with electrical works. Sanitary, plumbing works, ventilation, water pumping, and fire protection systems together with construction of road network, site development, perimeter fence, and drainage system. Source of fund is the FY 2024 grant. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on June 5, 2024 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is the DPWH LCCP. We also have here is the bill of the quantities as well as the bid data sheet. We also have the minimum manpower requirement. For the project manager, 5 years, project engineer, 5 years, reverse engineer, 3 years, safety health officer, 1 year, and general construction foreman, 3 years. Next po, for the minimum equipment requirement, for the dump truck, required number of units is 1 unit, backhoe 1 unit, truck mounted crane 1 unit, drill rig 1 unit, water truck or water pump 1 unit, welding machine 1 unit, plate compactor 1 unit, pump vibrator 1 unit, and bagger mixer 1 unit. Bar cutter 1 unit, bar bender 1 unit, and cutting outfit 1 unit. Ito naman po ang ating special conditions of the contract. We also have the coverage of the plan for the construction of 2-story school building to classrooms, Gubat North, Gubat Sorsogon. We also have here po is the prospective site development plan and the floor plans as well as the sections of the said building. And finally, we have contract, basic contract data with contract ID 24FL0103. Construction name, contract name rather, is construction of a 2-story school building, 12 classroom, Gubat South Central School, Gubat Sorsogon. Contract location, Gubat Sorsogon. Approved budget for the contract is 63,292,000 pesos. Brief description: complete construction of a 9.5 meters by 47 meters classrooms. School building mostly built with concrete and masonry with regular piles. PWD ramp with handrails, parapet wall and concrete cutter, and complete with electrical works. Sanitary or plumbing works, ventilation, water pumping, and fire protection systems together with construction of road network, site development, perimeter fence, and drainage systems. Source of fund is the FY Contract duration is 270 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on June 5, 2024 till 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is the DPWH LCCP. Shown naman po is the sample for the bill of quantities as well as the bid data sheet. All are downloadable through the DPWH website or the field reps. For the minimum manpower requirement, yan po ang ating minimum manpower requirement. Minimum required years of senior experience for the project manager is 5 years. Project engineer 5 years. Materials engineer 3 years. Safety health officer 1 year. General construction foreman 3 years. Minimum equipment requirement for the dump truck required number of units is 1 unit. Backhoe 1 unit, truck mounted crane 1 unit, drill rig 1 unit, water shower pump 1 unit, welding machine 1 unit, plate compactor 1 unit, concrete vibrator 1 unit, bagger mixer 1 unit, bar cutter 1 unit, bar bender 1 unit, and pallet outfit 1 unit. Shown as the naman po are special conditions of the contract. We have here the cover page of the plan for the construction of 2-story building at classrooms, Gubat South Central School. Shown is the perspective as well as the site development plan, the floor plans, and the sections of the said project.
Submission and receipt of bids. Bids should be submitted to the back on the date, time, and either at its physical address or through online submission specified in the instruction to bidders, through its bidders' duly authorized representative in a 2-envelope system, where the eligibility and technical requirements are enclosed in one envelope and the financial requirements in another envelope. eligibility and technical envelope, and financial envelope shall then be enclosed in one single envelope. Bid validity shall be 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Each bidder shall submit one copy of the first and second components of its bid. The procuring entity may request additional hard copies or electronic copies of the bid. However, failure of the bidders to comply with the said request shall not be a ground for disqualification. The procuring entity allows the submission of bids through online submission or any other electronic means. The bidder shall submit an electronic copy of its bid, which must be digitally signed. An electronic copy that cannot be opened or is corrupted shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract to be bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient back procuring entity, and the markings "Do not open before the date, time of the opening of bids." The procuring entity requires additional copies of the technical and financial documents. Each copy of the document shall also be enclosed in a separate envelopes marked as Copy 1 Technical Documents and Copy 1 Financial Documents. Both envelopes shall be enclosed in a single envelope marked Copy 1 Bid. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract to be bid, name and address of the bidder, the recipient back procuring entity, and the markings "Do not open before the date, time of the opening of bids." Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes, or in case of electronic bid submission, not in compressed archive folders and are not password protected, are rejected. Improperly sealed and marked bid envelopes, or not properly compressed and password protected, will be accepted, provided that a bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The BAC assumes no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or its premature opening as per Section 25.9 of the IRR. Electronic submission and receipt of bids. Meron po tayong two modes of submission of bid, either manual submission of bid or electronic submission of bid. A bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng bid. For manual submission of bid, yan po ay sa BAC Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon, 2nd DO, Barangay Payawin, Gubat, Sorsogon. For electronic submission of bids, yan po ay sa electronicbids_sorsogon2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Guidelines through electronic means. Use a two-factor security procedure consisting of an archive format compression and password protection to ensure security, integrity, and confidentiality of the bids submitted. Allows access to a password-protected bidding documents on opening date and time. The passwords for accessing the file will be disclosed by the bidders only during the actual bid opening, which may be done in person or face-to-face through video conferencing, webcasting, or similar technology. Capable of generating an audit trail of transactions to ensure security, integrity, and authenticity of bid submissions. Bids submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted. The BAC Secretariat shall notify in writing all bidders whose bids it has received through its PhilJEP's registered physical address or official email address within 7 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Modification of bids. Bid modifications must be submitted before the deadline of submission of bids. The bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid. However, the bidder may submit new bid equally sealed, properly identified, linked to its original bid, and marked as a modification. Withdrawal of bids. Letter of withdrawals must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and the expiration of the bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic bid submission, bidder shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as modification of the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be the official time of submission. Requirements of bidding documents. The following documents are posted in the DPWH websites and PhilJeps to aid our contractors in preparation of their bids. The following documents are invitation to bidders, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, drawings, bill of quantities, and sampled forms. Eligibility criteria. To be eligible to participate in the bidding of the said projects, a bidder must be a duly licensed Filipino citizen for sole proprietorships, partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines, corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines, cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, or persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture as per Section 23.4.2 of the IRR. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in accordance with the guidelines issued by the GPPB as per Section 23.4.2.2 of the IRR. Bidders must have a valid pickup license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract to be bid, at least 50% of the ABC. Contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience, provided that the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted by the bidders. We encourage our bidders to enroll in the civil work application to facilitate the fast evaluation of their eligibility. However, if they have not yet enrolled in the CWA, these are the documents they have to submit. Class A legal documents, PhilJeps Certificate of Registration, Mayor's Permit TTI Tax Clearance. Number 2, Pickup License and Registration. Number 3, Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Number 4, Statement of single largest completed contract. Number 5, Computation of the NFCC. Number 6, Valid joint venture agreement if applicable. Number 7, bid security. Number 8, project requirements, organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units, owned, leased, or under purchase agreement. Number 9, omnibus sworn statement duly notarized as per GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020. Eligibility requirements. All bidders shall upload and maintain in PhilJeps a current and updated file of the following Class A eligibility documents under Section 23.1 and 24.1 of the IRR. Class A legal documents. PhilJeps Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership, containing SEC Certificate of Registration, DTI Registration, Mayor's Permit, Business Permit, Tax Clearance, Audited Financial Statements. As per GPPB Resolution Number 15, Series 2021, lifting the suspension on the implementation of the mandatory submission of PhilJeps Certificate of Platinum Registration and Membership in competitive bidding and limited source bidding. All bidders are required to maintain a Platinum membership of PhilJeps Certificate of Registration. Class A technical documents. Statement of all ongoing contracts. Statement of single largest completed contract. Valid pickup license, special pickup license for joint venture agreements. Class A financial documents. Net financial contracting capacity or the NFCC. Class B, in case of joint venture, the joint venture agreement entered into parties must be attached. Legal eligibility requirements. Class A, tax clearance. As per Executive Order 398, Series of 2005, submission of BIR receipt for renewal of tax clearance will not suffice in lieu of a valid tax clearance requirement, since substitution is not allowed under Section 34.2 of the IRR. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the BIR for bidding purposes is not acceptable form of tax clearance, as per GPPB Resolution Number 1, Series of 2014. Recently expired Mayor's Permit, Business Permit shall be accepted together with the official receipt as proof that the bidder has applied for renewal within the period prescribed by the LGU. However, the renewed permit shall be submitted as post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the IRR. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Statement of the bidder of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. The statement shall include all information required in the bidding documents. Statement of single largest completed contract. The single largest completed contract completed should be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major categories of work. The single largest completed contract's value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid, upon adjustment of current prices using the PSA Consumer Price Indices. Contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the contract may participate if the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. The statement of single largest completed contract shall be supported by the owner's certificate of final acceptance, issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the constructor's performance evaluation system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board PCAB license. Bidders must have a valid PCAB license or a special PCAB license for joint ventures. PCAB license should indicate the registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and opening of bids. Bid security. Bidders have the option to choose their preferred form of bid security. Only one form of bid security is required to be submitted. For cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, 2%. For surety bond, callable upon demand, 5%, or you can use bid securing declaration. Please be guided of the GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020 sa format ng bid securing declaration. Bid security in the form of bid securing declaration. Please be guided of the revised provision and revised penalties of the bid securing declaration as a form of bid security as per GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020. Omnibus Sworn Statement. Revised Omnibus Sworn Statement as per GPPB Resolution Number 16 should include the following clauses. Any omission of the said clauses shall be grounds for disqualifications. The clauses should include the non-inclusion in the blacklist, authenticity of documents, verification authority, signatories authority, disclosure of relations, responsibilities of bidders, labor laws and standards, non-payment any commission, amount, fee, or any form of consideration in relation to any procurement project or activity. In case of advance payment was made or given, failure to perform or deliver any of the obligations and undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient grounds to constitute criminal liability. Second envelope, financial proposal. The second envelope shall contain bid form, summary of bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment, cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule, other documents required in the bidding documents. Please be guided of the GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020 for the bid form. Detailed evaluation of bids. Unless the instruction to bidders specifically allows partial bids, those not providing all the required items shall be considered non-responsive. Placing no price is considered non-responsive. Specifying a zero or dash means it is offered for free. The purpose of the detailed evaluation of bids is to determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing the correct calculated prices of bids, ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. The method, a non-discretionary criterion, shall be used which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. Results shall be contained in the abstract of bids. for the detailed evaluation of bid, in case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and bid price in words, the bid price in words shall prevail. Total price per item versus the unit price for the item times the quantity, the unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. The stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items, the actual sum of prices of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders to all the bidders of our no-contact rule, prohibition of communication with bidders from bid evaluation until award of contract. For post-qualification, the purpose is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents, to be the lowest calculated responsive bid. The method, a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion, which shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents by the lowest calculated bid.
For the information of everybody, that the bank will issue a bid bulletin to these three projects: 24 FL 0101, 24 FL 00102, and 24 FL 0103 due to the typographical error on the brief description of the project. It should be complete construction of 9.5 meters by 64 meters, 2-story, 12 classroom school building. And also, it also informed that for project ID 24FL0038 and 24FL0052, a supplemental bid bulletin is already issued due to the change in bill of quantities and plans. So, it is advised that the prospective bidders should browse, because this bill of quantities already posted in PhilJEPS and DPWH website. So, is there other concern, question? Wala? Okay, since we have no other matters to be discussed, this private conference for today is now adjourned.